So I graduated in 2009. Since then, tuition is about double what it was. And I've had friends who have attempted suicide over student debt and tuition. I look in our community, I mean, the stats are appalling. It's half our kids don't go to college, 4 in 10 drop out midway through, usually because they run out of student loans. 1 in 10 graduate, but they graduate $60,000 in debt. Half those kids can't stay because they can't afford to afterwards. So those stats are appalling, but when you see it in real life, when you talk to just people in the community, I talked to a gal at a coffee shop the other day, told her about our effort. She started crying about how much debt she has, how she was $50,000 in debt, how her boyfriend was $100,000 in debt. And it's, how are these kids going to buy a house or start a family? And what does that look like? And what's the pain and the struggle that these folks have? And, you know, they deal with that and they get a condescending response. They never are included in the discussion. It's always, when we talk about higher education, we never talk to the students. And we say, oh, you should have just gotten a part-time job like I did in the 70s or the 80s, and you kids are just lazy. And they'll say that at the same coffee shop where every barista that's serving them is working 2 jobs and going to college. And it's wrong. And someone needs to stand up about it, and someone needs to do something about it. And at the same time, what we've seen, the solutions over the years that we've had are not solutions. It's blaming. The legislature will cut higher education. That means that kids' scholarships get cut. That means funding that would control tuition gets cut. And they'll do that, then the universities raise the tuition, and then the legislature will point at the universities, say that they're not doing things efficiently enough, and so we need to cut it again, and the universities will say, no, it's the legislature. And there's no solutions there. That's just blame. And so where we need to move is towards solutions, towards dealing with the issues that these kids are facing. For one, we haven't even as a state or a society acknowledged it yet. We're starting to get there. The governor's speech, the State of the State speech, it was the first time in our state's history that higher education affordability was the priority of the speech. First time. This isn't a new issue. This didn't just come out of the blue. It's always just been a fleeting reference. And so we're just starting to come to the reality as a state that what these kids are going through. But we need to move fast, and we need to move from that reality towards solutions.